I'm sure you've already heard the market in real estate is slow right now, but I'm here to let you know from April until May, the average price is actually still going up. I'm Bwanka with the Compass team, and this is your May 2025 market update. We're going to be comparing May of 2025 to May of 2024, and we're also going to be talking about what happened throughout the last month and comparing it to April of 2024. Now, we're going to get started with what everybody always wants to hear about: average price. Where is average price? So the average price in the GTA right now is $1,120,879. So about $1,121,000. Now that's it's about 13,000 higher than it was in April of 2025. Now in April of 25, we were at 1,107,000. So it has gone up, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit why about it. But now you keep hearing the market is so slow, things are plummeting, things are dropping. The GTA market is strong and it is resilient. Sellers don't just drop their price. There are sellers that will drop their price because they need to sell, but the majority of sellers don't just drop their price, so the market is still holding strong. Now, if we look at May of 2024, when we were still in a seller's market, the average price then was $1,165,691. So it was about 45K higher than it is right now. So over the last year, yes, it has dropped, but I wouldn't say too significantly or anything crazy with what's been going on in this market. Now, the next thing we want to talk about is what's happening with transactions, the amount of buys and sells that are happening. Now, in a very stable market, what we're usually seeing is somewhere around 15 to 17,000 transactions, okay? So in May of 2025, we saw 6,244, which is that's a very low number compared to what we normally see in a stable market. And what that shows us is there's a lot of buyers who are sitting on the sidelines. They're not making a move right now. The people who are buying right now is smart buyers, investors, savvy investors, people who are looking to get a great deal. First-time home buyers, you can get an amazing deal getting into the market right now. Now, in April 2025, we were at about 5,600 transactions. Again, this is still super low, but you can see we've come up like 600 transactions in the last month. So historically speaking, May is going to be that month where there's going to be a lot more sales, and that's kind of what we're seeing now. If we look at May of 2024, then there was 7,000 transactions that were happening in May of 24. So that's going to be, about 1,000 more than what we're having in May of 2025. So what we can see is in last year, there was more buyer confidence as compared to this year. There's not as much buyer confidence. Now, the active listings, the amount of listings that there are. Right now, there's about 31,000 active listings. And in April of 2025, we had just over 27,000 active listings. So we're getting to have a lot of there's a lot out there. As a buyer, you have like so much to choose from. And this is another reason why buyers are moving slower, because you got time. Let me see this one, let me see the next one. There's 2 more that are coming out tomorrow. Like, what's my rush? Some people are waiting for the bottom, but trust me, you can never time the bottom. If you see something that checks all your boxes and you can get a great deal on it, pull the trigger, don't wait, move on it. Me personally, with one of my business partners, I actually just purchased another property. Safras with our team, he actually just purchased a property for his actual house that he lives in. Why? Because right now is an amazing time to buy and you can get great deals. Both of us got amazing deals on what we were looking for. Now, if we talk about May of 2024, we're looking at 21,760 active listings. Okay, that's about close 9,000 less listings than we have right now today in May. And what that means is there was just a lot less options back then. Still, I would say this is still a good amount of options, but right now we have ample amount of options, which brings us to our months of inventory. For those of you who don't know what months of inventory is, you take all of our active listings, 30,964. How long is it gonna take before all of those properties sell? 4.96 months. So basically 5 months to sell all of that. When it's anything 5 months or more, you are in a very strong buyer's market. That's why I keep saying it's a great time to buy, and you can get amazing deals out there. Sellers, do not sell unless you have to sell. Do not sell unless if you're moving up and you're getting into a better vehicle, then okay, you're selling, but you're also going to be winning on the buy. But some people just don't panic sell. I do not recommend panic selling, but if you have to sell, I completely understand. Now, if we look back to April of 2025, not much changed, about 4.9 months of inventory. But if we look at May of 2024, we were just over 3 months of inventory. So just leaving a seller's market and starting to move into kind of a stable market. Between 3 to 5 months of inventory, that's a pretty stable market. Once you get under 2 months of inventory, you're in a strong seller's market. Now, days of market, we're not gonna stay here too long. In May 2025, 25 days. April 2025, 25 days. In May of 2024, 19 days. Nothing crazy here. When you start seeing it low, like 9 days, or really high, like over 30, 40 days, that's when you gotta start getting worried and seeing what's really happening. But with everything that's happening in the market, it's just really understanding what's happening, why is it happening, and what's best for you, because every single person is different. Now, the Bank of Canada on June the 4th, they held their rates. They held their rates at 2.75 is going to be that your current interest rate is what you're at. And now this is a good rate. People were complaining. People were losing their mind when we were sitting at 5 for how long? It was a very long time. We were just sitting at 5. That's a tough place to be. 2.75, it's a really good place to be compared to 5, but some people are still in their head are still stuck on 0.25 where we were during the pandemic. But the only reason the rates went that low was to boost the economy, to get things moving. That's why we went to such a low place. I don't see us going back that low. I do think the next rate cut, it's going to be happening in July. I do think it's going to be a quarter point. We're going to be dropping to 2.5. I don't have a crystal ball, but that's my guess. If you think different, put it in the comments. I'd love to talk to you about it. But the whole thing, everything I'm letting you know today is it's a great time to buy. If you are uncertain, just wait. Just wait. Uncertainty is like, some people are they're uncertain, and that's just who you are. Just wait. But just know, smart buyers, savvy investors are getting great deals right now. And the only way you're ever going to find these great deals is you have to be out there in the market. You have to be putting in offers, and you have to find out why this person needs to sell, because the list price isn't always what the sell price is gonna be. So if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out. I'm Bwanka with the Compass team. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, because we're gonna be putting out a lot more content, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on the next one.